What's good, everybody? It's your boy Eddie here, and welcome back to the channel. And I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. And as you can see by the title and the thumbnail of the video, we are going to be reviewing a banger of a sneaker. First of all, I got to give a huge shout out to my brother ND, my boy Nate, for hitting the in-store Undefeated NYC raffle. Unfortunately, your boy struck out completely on every raffle, the Chicago raffle, the NYC in-store raffle. I did hit the online EQL raffle, but I didn't get that in my size because I expected to hit that in-store, but they completely just washed me up and said, yo, you're a dub. So, it is what it is on that, guys. So before we continue this video, please make sure that you smash that subscribe button down below, as well as hit that notification bell, because as you guys know, in order for this channel to continue to grow, we got to hit more and more milestones, and I can't do that without y'all. So now with the formalities being out of the way, let's just get right into what you came here for, which is none other than the undefeated Air Jordan 4 2025 retro. And guys, based off of first impressions, this is 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, a Google percentage, a cop for me. Definitely let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below, but I think everybody can agree that this is one of the best collaborations that Jordan Brand has ever made. And fun fact, this was actually the first Jordan Brand collaboration that ever happened, and this was back in 2005. So from 1985 to 2005, until these came out, Jordan Brand never did a collaboration with any other company. So this is a big shoot for many other reasons, because of course the colorway is amazing. It's a very nostalgic sneaker, but it's also important to note that this was the first ever Jordan Brand collaboration. And a few more things that I want to mention about why this Undefeated 4 is so special to many people is that, first of all, the original run was only 72 pairs. And the only way to hit that was, one, if you were plugged in with Jordan Brand or Undefeated, and that was kind of your way to get the sneaker. And the other way for normal people like us was to do that lottery in Undefeated LA, which was buying the t-shirt with Michael Jordan on it with the Photoshop Jordan 4s on it. And you were put into a lottery or a raffle, as we call it today. And if you were one of those lucky, I don't even want to say 72, because some of them was definitely reserved for staff members and the creators of the brand and all that type of stuff. But if you were one of that lucky, let's say 25 to 30 people, you basically got a free ticket. And maybe that's why they call it a lottery. You got a free ticket to one of the best sneakers of all time. And if you didn't care about the sneakers, you was insuring yourself with a 5-figure earnings if you were to sell that sneaker. So either way that you look at it, the sneaker is very special in that regard. And of course, when looking at the inspiration behind the shoe, the biggest inspiration behind this was the MA1 bomber jacket. And that's why the sneaker does have that militaristic feel to it. But more specifically, it was dedicated to the MA1 bomber jacket. That's kind of the vibe that they were going for with it. So if you even tried to check out today, which was impossible, on the Undefeated website, they did have their own custom MA1 bomber jacket from Undefeated themselves. So that was a pretty cool thing that they added to the drop. But of course, as everybody knows, it was pretty much impossible to actually get a pair. So it is what it is on that, guys. And now with that history and a little bit of the inspiration behind the shoe, let's just get right into the box details. And what I do love about this is that they didn't go with the OG box, which really wasn't a box. It was this kind of like, I want to say this canvas camera type of material thing that the sneakers would fit in with some other details such as the extra laces and all that type of stuff. But what I do like about this is that they used the early to mid 2000s Jordan box, but obviously they did add some changes right here to show the Undefeated logo, as well as the year 2005 and 2025 right there with the 20 in the middle. So it's kind of a triple entendre when you look at it, because it's 20 years that the sneaker has come out, and the 20 goes for the 05, which makes 2005, and the 20 also goes for the 25, which is 2025. So it's just a very nice touch with that Undefeated logo right there. And then when looking all around the entire box, there's pretty much nothing else to it. Very simple, like that OG box right there. And then when going onto this side, we do have the Undefeated sticker as well as the Jordan Brand sticker tag right there. And it does read off as Air Jordan 4 Retro OGSP. And the colorway shown is deep green, clementine, and black. And then when it comes to the sizing of the sneaker, as I said earlier, I did not hit this in my personal size, so that is pretty unfortunate. However, it does fit like every standard Air Jordan 4 that you could think of in the past 3 to 4 years. It's not as tight as it used to be pre-2020. I want to say is the time period where they kind of changed the feeling and fit of the Jordan 4. So it's not as tight as that. It's very comfortable. It's very true to size in my personal opinion. So this does feel like what a size 9 would feel like on me, but definitely go with your true to size and you should be totally fine with this sneaker. Now when opening the box lid right here, we are greeted with this very nice postcard. And I think it is pretty dope because we do have a picture right there that does say Undefeated, and that is the La Brea location right there. And at the bottom, it does say La Brea since '02. And then when looking onto this side, we do have all of these Jumpman details right there, which basically means that this is just a postcard that you can mail out. Obviously, like, you wouldn't do that because this is a collectible, but that's kind of like the vibe that they were going for. Now, when going onto the wax tissue paper, we do have this custom Undefeated logo and Jordan Brand wax tissue paper. And then underneath that, each sneaker is individually wrapped, I guess, to keep it safe or from the dyes of the sneaker to affect any other part of the sneaker. So it's very safe when you get your pair. You don't have to worry anything about, you know, any quality control issues because the quality on the sneaker is actually very good, and I do appreciate that from Jordan Brand. It isn't the best quality in the world, obviously, but with this being a special sneaker as it is, I definitely have to say that Undefeated and Jordan Brand cooked with the sneaker right here. But anyways, with that being out of the way, let's just get right into the details, which I'm sure all of you guys have been waiting for. So as I mentioned, the quality on the sneaker is pretty great, especially for this being a 120K plus stock type of sneaker. I'm hearing 122 stock on sneakers. I don't know if that's true, but I heard there was about 112 stock on Undefeated. That's including the EQL raffles, as well as the in-store, as well as the online stock. That's what I'm hearing. Don't know if that's 100% true, but that's kind of the range that we've got for what's going on with the sneaker right here. But with that being said, with that level amount of stock, no quality control issues. The suede is not the best. I mean, on the mudguard right here, let's just, you know, get right into it. On the mudguard right here, we definitely do have that backstroke motion suede, which is really nice. And that's definitely an indicator to say that they use some pretty good materials. But that's just on the mudguard. When I look at the toe box right here, I didn't see any backstroke motion. Maybe on the B-roll, we'll be able to see it at a closer detail. But currently, when I'm looking at it, I definitely don't see none of that backstroke motion. It's just a very standard type of suede. Then when moving up towards the shoe now, we do have our standard Air Jordan 4 web netting right here. And what I really love is how soft it feels when you kind of move the web netting around. And then when going right above that, there is these all black laces right here. But just like the OGs, we do have an extra pair of laces, and I do love that it's no longer in the plastic and it is in this environmentally friendly box. And it is the standard Jumpman Move to Zero box right here, which I absolutely love. And of course, we do have those nice orange Undefeated laces right there, which will definitely make the shoe pop. But I'm not gonna lie, if I were to get my personal pair, I might keep the black laces on. I really do love how the black laces look on the sneaker. It gives it this kind of stealth look to it. It definitely gives the military vibe. And since they kind of changed some of the details and the tooling on the sneaker, we don't have the overexposed orange on the tongue of the shoe itself. I'm kind of jumping the gun right now. So the actual orange padding on the sneaker, you won't be able to see when you look directly onto the sneaker. You would have to look on the inside of it, but you know, some people don't like that, some people do. Because the orange padding popping out on the OGs definitely gave it more of a pop. As opposed to this, I prefer it because it gives that stealth-like look to it. But anyways, when moving more up onto the tongue of the sneaker, I don't know where I want to start. Let's just look onto the materials of the tongue itself. So we do have this nice olive green satin tongue. Super soft to the touch, quality feels great, and it's just absolutely phenomenal overall. Then, now one of the most important details, and remember, this was the first Jordan Brand collaboration, so those rare airs that we got a couple weeks ago, they got that detail from this Undefeated 4 right here. So if you guys did not know, the tongue actually comes off in comparison to the other Air Jordan 4s that exist around the world. So I do love this detail a lot. As you can see, looks like a patch right there, and we do have that Undefeated orange Jumpman detail with the flight script right under it. And then on the exposed detail of the tongue, it does say Jordan Rare Air. Then when flipping the tongue over, I want to be very delicate because this isn't my pair. We do have the orange padding, as I mentioned a couple seconds ago. And then instead of it saying Air Jordan right here, it does have the inverted Undefeated logo right there, which is a pretty nice touch. Then when moving on to the lateral side of the shoe, we do have that beautiful Air Jordan 4 silhouette. It's just always going to look good, man. I don't know how people can hate Air Jordan 4s. It's just a wonderful looking sneaker, and I absolutely love and appreciate them so much. But as you can see, we do have that nice olive green suede upper, which looks really great on the sneaker. Then, of course, we do have that darker green web netting right there that gives that militaristic look. And then we do have this very nice Jumpman / Undefeated hang tag right there. And I think this looks absolutely phenomenal on the sneaker. Would I keep it on for my personal? Absolutely not. I would cut them off. But again, this isn't my pair. It's my boy ND's pair. So we're going to keep it in pristine condition so he can get them back exactly how he gave it to me. Now, in going on to the back heel area of the shoe, now we do have one of the biggest changes from the Undefeated 4s, which is that beautiful matte and glossy Nike Air detail. Guys, tell me that joint don't look crazy. In my personal opinion, I don't have the OGs in my hand, but I think these look better than the OGs. And that might get me crucified for blasphemy or anything like that, but these look so crazy. I mean, the OGs had the Jumpman. I think the actual heel tab was made out of the Nubuck, which is a better material than this plastic TPU that we got right here. However, I do prefer that Nike Air. As always. Just a little bit of more history that I want to give to y'all is that, remember, back then, Jordan Brand was very conservative with their collaborations, especially with it being the first collaboration. But anyways, with that being out of the way, let's just go onto the medial side of the sneaker. And the same thing pretty much follows with the lateral side, so there's nothing else to report on there. So now let's just briefly go onto the midsole. No crazy changes. We do have the standard Air Jordan 4 midsole right here. But what I really like about this Undefeated pair is that we do have some matte black details, and then we do have some glossy black details, which adds a pop to the sneaker. And then we do have this very nice sail. Not piss yellow age sail, we just have a very nice and simple sail. Then of course, with every standard Air Jordan 4, we do have the exposed air bubble unit right there, and we do have some Undefeated orange details on the inside of that. Then when going on to the outsole of the shoe, we do have this beautiful Air Jordan 4 traction pattern right here. And again, some of the changes is changing from the Jumpman logo into the Nike Air, which I personally prefer. But of course, there's gonna be people like, yo, I need that OG. But I think they did it right with this because the people who have the OG pairs, there's still a lot of differences enough to make the sneaker still a grail and special and everything like that. But for the new generation, they're getting a different version, very similar to what it is on that. Let's just get right into the final detail before we conclude this review, which is none other than the insoles itself. And I do love what they did with this. So I believe with the OG pairs, instead of it having the Nike Air, it was a Jumpman with the Undefeated logo right there, but I can't fully confirm that. But I do love what they did with the insoles. We do have that nice orange detail right there with the nice fuzzy, I believe this is a polyurethane insole right here. And again, we do have the Undefeated logo on the right insole, as well as the Nike logo on the left insole. And pretty much with that being said, guys, that's going to conclude the history as well as the details of the shoe. So now let's get right into this on for look, all right? All right, y'all, so that's going to conclude the review as well as the on-full look, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it for y'all. Definitely let me know what you think about this Air Jordan 4 Undefeated 2025 Retro. Is it a cop or drop? By the time of this review, y'all already know that it's a cop for me, but I want to hear what y'all think about it in the comment section down below. And other than that, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you're already subscribed to the channel, definitely be sure to share with your friends and your family and all that, because in order for my channel to continue to grow, I need y'all help, and I can't do it without y'all. So I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? Peace.